I woke up with my wife uh, yelling my name, and then I got out of my chair, and there was a cop with a gun pointed in the room, and uh, I guess someone swatted us from what we found out, saying that someone was going to harm somebody in the house.
All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the second episode of the Main Stage podcast. My name is Cams, and alongside joins me my co-host Flix. And with our very special guest here for our second episode, we have DaDSHoT, also known as the father of Nadeshot, CEO of the company 100Thieves. And he's a kick-ass carpenter, an avid cyclist, and he is the proud father of Matthew Nadeshot Haig. And like I said, he's the CEO of one of the most prestigious esports and apparel companies known as 100Thieves. And let's please welcome Jeff DaDSHoT Haig to the podcast. Welcome, Jeff. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. Flix, go ahead and say what's up as well.
I'm here.
Cool. So this is our second episode. The first episode, JHB team went over really well. Had a really good time. We discussed a lot of cool things. And you have a little bit of history. Have you met JHB team, DaDSHoT?
I don't think I met him yet.
No, I'm sure you've met a lot of people though, especially when all the mob guys came over. I'm really surprised that he didn't end up coming over when you guys met him.
If I did meet him, I forgot, and I'm bad at names. I meet so many people every day, so
yeah.
I don't think I met him, but I met the mob. They are awesome.
That's cool. So we're gonna get right into things, but first and foremost, if you guys are watching this podcast on YouTube, you guys might notice that I am wearing glasses, and if you guys follow me, I never ever wear glasses. And you guys might notice this isn't my normal room, and I'm actually filming this podcast from the Gamer Advantage headquarters. And they just released their new facility, and I'm sponsored by Gamer Advantage. The podcast, you guys are getting some leaks right here, and our podcast is soon to be sponsored by Gamer Advantage, and so we're gonna have some things in the work here. But they're blue light glasses, they're awesome, and they invited me to come out here, and they said I could film podcasts here anytime. So Flix and I are both getting a free pair of glasses from them. So huge shout out to Gamer Advantage, and their link will be down in the description to check them out, as well as DaDSHoT's link. If you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple Music, go drop us a sub on YouTube. We have currently 34 subscribers as recording this podcast, but anybody that is hearing about this podcast, make sure to share with friends, family, relatives, anybody that is involved in the esports and entertainment scene. We would really appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into the first question that we got here for you, Jeff. So what is your proudest moment as a father? Because as we know, you're the father of a very, very successful, from startup to McDonald's to working for 100Thieves as the CEO.
Well, I'm proud of all my kids. They're all done well. And Matt's done great, and his brother is a county sheriff. I won't say where. And then his daughter, my daughter, is a special ed teacher, and they are all great kids. I'm proud of them all equally. Matt's killing it out there, and he's making it happen. So can't ask for better.
I would be a proud father, especially seeing all three of them be successful and seeing where they all are right now. Must be a good feeling, and I can't wait to have that feeling someday.
Yeah, it's great. It's good to see. You want your kids to do better than you, and they're on their way.
All right. So we kind of already covered this, but what like who, I don't want to say favorite, but like who have you met from 100Thieves, and like when you went to the compound and all that stuff, if you want to talk about that?
Well, Matt's roommates, I had Jack Courage, who's an awesome guy. I met his parents, who are Gary Dunlop and Jack's mom. I mean, they are just really great and nice people. And I met Brooke, and I met let's see, Symphony, and then the Mob. I mean, and Fwiz and Matt's golf buddy Shibby. I don't know if you guys know him, but
Heard of him.
he's yeah, he's out there. I mean, all of his buddies are great. There's much more I met, but just he has a good group of friends surrounding him. It's nice to see. Oh, and his wife. I mean, not wife. His girlfriend. It's a split there. Haley and their dog Gary.
Gary, he's been an icon on their social media lately.
Oh, Gary's the best. He's a lot of fun.
Dogs are the best in general, for being
Oh yeah,
honest.
he's big fluff ball. He's adorable. Well, I like cats too, though.
Yeah, you have any cats?
Yeah, I have a cat. His name is Jack,
Oh yeah,
and
It's a profile. It's his profile picture,
yeah,
right?
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I thought I saw
he
you.
was. We adopted him as a senior. We believe in adopting seniors where people don't want them; they want kittens. And we have an older dog too, Chip, and it's really great.
So, speaking of acquisitions, looks like you got a new bike. What is it?
Yeah, yeah. No pedals on my new bike. I got a Kawasaki Vulcan 900. I took a 3-day safety course at Harley Davidson. They tried to get me to buy a Harley, but I went Japan route and bought a Kawasaki. They have great bikes, and I love it. It's perfect. It's like a copycat of a Harley, but it's awesome. I always wanted to have a bike, and I never could do it before because I had a family and didn't want to take any risks. But now I have the opportunity, and it's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. So, so the next question we got is for those of you that don't know, Jeff is actually a carpenter, and the way I found out that is I was watching 100 Thieves video of him visiting the compound as we discussed earlier. He visited there a couple times, and he was just blown away by the structure of the building, and Matt was like. He's like, dude, I don't understand what you see. I see a bunch of LEDs. I see a bunch of like cool gaming equipment, and you're worried about the building out of all things. So, what's the
Yeah.
biggest thing that you've personally done, and how satisfying was it for you to have a finished product at the end?
Well, it's a great place. They have an awesome structure there, but I'm so used to the stuff that I build all the time. That's my daily work, and um, I know what it takes to do that stuff, and I can see like if it's quality or not, and everything was top notch and just really state of the art facility and great location. Really, really, really nice place.
Absolutely. What personally have you considered as being your biggest project?
Well, I've done a lot. I built several churches. I built grocery stores. I've done everything. I built a Best Buy in John Hancock downtown. That's probably my coolest thing I did. It's shut down. They closed now, but I did some really cool framing in there and floating clouds and really high end carpentry work like that, where um, it took a lot of thought and know how to do it. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm glad I was involved, and I'm I like doing quality work.
100% quality over quantity, as they say.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to ask one thing, like about the compound specifically. Like, did you have a favorite like part besides like the actual like building itself, like a room or?
Um, I can't. I only walked through a part of it. I didn't see everything. I got to see Matt's office and stuff, but I mean, like their little studios they had, which was very neat, and I mean, it just a really nice work environment, and really uh, just great architecture. Like nothing crazy, whatever, but it's more of an open building. But I mean, it's just a nice place. I can't say. I mean, there's nothing specifically that stood out to me. It wasn't anything crazy, but it's just cool that he has his own company and actually brick and mortar place.
Awesome. The foundation on it had to have been really something neat, especially when you know the behind the scenes, how it actually comes together, and then seeing your own son work from a facility that he had built for his company.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's neat.
The amount of money that they have into the place. What was it? Like, I think it was $10 million.
What was it? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think their YouTube video was titled, like, "We built a $10 million facility," or something like that.
I
It's
would have built it
insane.
for 5.
For 5. He should have went to you.
I wish I could. Matt was trying to get a bathroom built in there, and at one point he was going to try to get me there to build the bathroom, but it fell through. Something happened, but I wish I could have had the chance.
That'd have been cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he wanted like a private bathroom, you know.
Oh,
So
okay, I see. All right. Was there ever like a time you wanted him to pursue like something else because you were like worried about his like success in
gaming
gaming? Like,
style.
but yeah, before he came up, obviously.
Yeah, his mom and I both thought that he spent too much time in his room, and
We all get that.
we got a little worried. He was a great student. We made him get a job at McDonald's, which he was, and he worked at the church rectory first. All my kids worked at the rectory before they were like 16, and answering phones, and then he got a job at McDonald's. But he still spent a lot of time in the room, and we got a little worried. But when he finally won that MLG, I forget what year it was, but
Columbus?
probably, but he won like him and his teammates won 400,000, and then we thought it was just like a one time thing, but he's like, I'm going to do this for a living. I think I could do this for a living. I'm like, hey, you're going to college, and uh, and you're still working, but he proved us wrong.
You always love to hear those success stories
Yeah.
that the kids end up, surpassing their parents' expectations.
You see it time and time again with some of these Fortnite pros
That are in the scene, such as some of the people like Clicks.
he ended up taking money from his parents. He borrowed money, and dad's like, "You better pay me back." And trust me, Dad, I will. And he started streaming, and he started making money, and he paid his dad back.
He's
Like, wow, you actually did it, and
he was like,
I didn't think that you would.
and now obviously he's surpassing his expectations.
Always good to see the father pushing the son to do good things.
And was able to make something out of it.
Well, Matt was in junior college in his second year, and then I paid for it. And when he's like, I'm going to do this for a living. I'm moving out. I'm going to move to the optic house. I was like, hey, you're paying me back for the college I put out for your expenses, and he paid, and he's doing well.
That's awesome.
So, what was your reaction when Matt was receiving different rounds of funding, like in the millions, for his company when it first started.
I can't even relate to them type of numbers, whatever. I mean, I'm kind of surprised, like how business minded he is now, and like he knows all the lingo about business, where way more than me. But I'm impressed that he's like really got a good business sense.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's what it was. I couldn't forget it, or I couldn't forget this one. Um, People who live around here know, but what is your favorite thing from Portillo's?
Wow, Portillo's. Let's see. If I go to Portillo's, actually, the last time Matt was there, last Christmas, him and Haley and Gary, that was one of our first stops, and I think I had Matt give me a half slab of ribs, but actually I like the beef sandwich, but I don't like the giardiniera there. I like different style giardiniera. But I'll say the ribs and then the beef.
Okay.
So you're
Valid.
you're a man of class, fine dining. You really like your fine dining.
Yes. Well, not really, but
Oh,
better than Matt. Matt's fine dining is all fast food, where I like fish. I keep trying to tell him, hey, try. We never ate fish. My kids had fish sticks growing up. His mom would make fish sticks, and I can't think what else she made it for him, but like mac and cheese and fish sticks or something like that. But we never ate like fish. But I met my second wife, and she introduced me to fish. And I'm trying to tell Matt, I'm like, hey, this stuff's good and it's good for you. We didn't grow up eating it, but you got to try it.
Fish and mac and cheese. Oh my god.
they're such an incredible combination. Salmon and mac and cheese are really good too.
Oh my lord.
Oh yeah.
What's
I
your
can't
favorite?
do salmon.
Can't
I
do
can't do-
salmon?
No, I can't. I don't know. It's just
All right, you guys got to try mahi.
yeah. That's what
my
everyone
girlfriend's.
says.
My girlfriend says it's like the steak, like the king, like
It's
the
it's a, it's not flaky. It's more meaty, and doesn't. I don't like orange roughy or something that's like real. It's flaky and just. Oh, I haven't had it. My parents used to eat it when I was a kid, but I was like, oh, give me a hot dog. But uh, now I go to Florida a lot, and they have mahi tacos. And when I was younger, I would hear people saying eating fish tacos. I'd be like, oh my god, fish taco, that sounds disgusting. But they're amazing.
My dad loves the fish tacos with cilantro and
Yeah.
everything on them, and is his newest fad
of things to eat is
shrimp tacos. He gets this blanco shrimp, and
Okay.
he heats up his
tortilla shell in a pan, put some oil
and then has these little metal holders.
that he puts the tacos in.
Just feeds
Yeah.
them in there. W shaped.
Hold them together.
Yeah, so it amazes me that we go from eating out and getting fish tacos,
And now he evolved into
shrimp tacos. But the mahi, I tried it for the first time in Pennsylvania, and we went to a pretty nice.
I think it was a seafood place.
It was $36 for all you could eat crab,
Crab legs, shrimp.
scallops, clams. So it was really good. But then we went back there a second time and we had mahi, like a pineapple glaze on it. Ray, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
if you don't like salmon, if you ever come to Michigan, I'm gonna have my parents. Like, if you come to the bonfire next year that we have, we're gonna have salmon, and
I like salmon.
salmon's good. It has got a lemon juice, brown sugar, and
Oh,
garlic glaze that we put on
Yeah.
it, and like you really don't even want to have any other salmon that's relatively
Close to that.
crazy
Uh,
good.
My
It might
wife
be
makes a bourbon glaze on there, which I'm not a bourbon drinker, but it's just amazing. It's just so good on the grill on a cedar plank.
Oh yeah.
It's
it might
good.
be the it might be the glaze that ruins it for me, honestly.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't because like usually it's sweet, right? Like a sweeter usually,
Well,
or
yeah.
it
I mean,
depends.
you don't like the sweet?
I don't know. I feel like mixing like something sweet and like salty, like the fish. I don't know. That's just me.
I get
I-
that. I get it. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
kind of
good. I
picky.
like on the mahi mahi. Tell your dad, or on the fish tacos, try a mango. You can find it online a mango salsa, which is really good.
oh, I'm sure he'd
It's
love that.
sweet and hot. Sweet and hot go together. So heat.
So I
Spicy stuff is fire. Just had to say that.
so actually my dad is a carpenter as well, which kind of interesting, and it's kind of crazy to see that both of uh both of us have something in common.
Yeah.
Ray, what does your dad do?
Carpenter,
No way.
Hey,
Are you serious?
the trio.
There's no
that's
way.
awesome.
All three of us. That's crazy. All three of us have somebody in their family that does carpentry.
My dad was just an engineer. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What do you mean, just an engineer?
That makes big money.
I, yeah, it's interesting. It's competitive.
Oh yeah.
So
I
many
like
different
being a
layers to it.
carpenter. Hey guys, my dog has to go to the bathroom. Can I take him out real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It take me 2 seconds.
Oh, you're good.
Come here, Tippy. All right. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you're good.
All
He was,
good.
he was pacing in here, and I'm like, hey, his mom, my wife just went away for a weekend trip with her friends. I'm like, is he unsettled? What? But he's dancing around. I'm like, I better take him out.
Girls' weekend or what?
Thank God I did.
That's
All right.
funny.
So jumping back into the podcast, we had a little pause in the action. All right. So we were leading into the next question here, which
This is something I really, really hope we can get an answer from you on this one.
this is the bread and butter.
So what is the most embarrassing story that you could tell us about your relationship with Matt?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, I honestly cannot think of anything embarrassing that he's ever done where I I really can't think of anything. I mean, all my kids, I'm so proud of all of them. They're better kids than I ever was, and it's like I wish I was like them when I was growing up because I was a little jerk probably, but my kids were all well behaved and never embarrassed about anything. I can't think of anything.
So he's never came home from something that he has done at school, and you've been like, oh, or there's never been a moment where you've been like when he was like really young, when he like talking, or was there any certain thing that you would constantly like laugh at that he said that was kind of like just out of the ordinary? No.
No, I mean I know one time he got what did he do? He did something. He had to do. He got a ticket or something. I can't remember what he did wrong, but he had to do community service like at an animal shelter and like pick up dog poop or something. And it was something that he didn't even really do wrong. He just got pimped out. I can't remember. He would tell me right now exactly what he did, but he's like, I'll never forget that. And but that's it.
What about? Did he ever get any detentions or like suspensions?
He, oh boy, I'm getting he got a detention for something. I forget it was him or no. All my kids were great students, but he got a detention that I can't remember why. He, I would. Oh, his mom would remember.
It couldn't have been that bad then, right?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing bad. My kids were all
Okay.
good. I mean, I was a deviant compared to them. I mean, but
I
I
mean,
never
but that
really got pretentious either. But
it
I was
stems
just up
from
to
you.
no
That
good with
means you
my
did a
friends.
good job.
Yeah, I said my first wife and I, we were high school sweethearts, and we met in band, and we had our family, and we're like, they never asked for help at homework. They were all smart, and it's like we were neither. I went to junior college and then went to. My first wife worked at a hospital and did hair cutting and worked at a hospital. But I was like, I always hope the kids don't come home and ask me to help them with trigonometry or anything. But they never did. They were all smart and did their thing, and it's fun having kids like that.
I hope mine never come home and ask about any sort of math. If I'm gonna be
Oh
honest,
yeah, I
it's
can help
over.
them with basic 3, 4, 5 for geometry. I mean algebra. That's all I know for carpentry.
Algebra 1. That's about it. X plus 4 equals 2. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't even know what you just said, but so speaking of like run-ins with getting in trouble, or have you ever had any times where you've gotten the SWAT team called to your house for anything? Because I know it's very popular in the gaming community to have, like, obviously when you compete at a high level like Matt has, to be like, there's been multiple people that have unfortunately have passed away because there's been some dangerous incidents with SWAT and stuff like that. So why don't you go ahead and explain some of that?
Yeah, we were swatted twice. The first time I was actually napping. I think it was a Saturday or Sunday. I was watching TV or golf, and I probably fell asleep on the couch. And I woke up with my wife yelling my name, and then I got out of my chair, and there was a cop with a gun pointed in the room, and uh, I guess someone swatted us from what we found out, saying that someone was going to harm somebody in the house. And then it happened again the second time, and but after that, like it might have been another situation, but the police called us first, and they knew about, we never found out who did it or anything like that. But it was kind of scary.
Yeah, that's the one thing I know. Like I know like you can like call them and like tell them like, "Oh, we have like a big figure here, so you might like get like calls like that or something." Because I think Clicks did say something about that because I know he's dealt with it. But
Yeah, it was. They
crazy.
made a phone call from another state, and there's no recourse to find. Like they knew how to jump the phone lines where you cannot locate who made the main phone call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But maybe nowadays they can, but like back then they couldn't.
yeah, it's a little bit a similar situation with me. There way back when, it was actually kind of like a crazy situation because like I knew that these kids had the potential to do something like swatting, but I knew that the possibility of something like that happening wasn't 100% likely. But there was a situation where I was in orientation my freshman year of college, and it couldn't have came at a worse time. And I was just one second. So I was in my orientation for college, and they were trying to get into my security features on Twitter, and they were trying to get in, which still to this day, thankfully, nobody has been able to get in. I secure my stuff, and so they were trying to harass me, and they were texting me because they had my phone number, and so whatever it's a crazy situation, the world that we live in nowadays, that like nothing is 100% secure unless you have things backed up through the bank, and just crazy the world that we live in. And there like Ray was saying, there is a way that you can whitelist your address, and I'm sure you've already done that yourself, Jeff. But you could just simply
Well,
call them.
nowadays, it doesn't matter for me, but I mean, anybody can look me up. But I mean, I've had where some kid locked out all my accounts where I couldn't access any of my accounts. He got into all my passwords at one time and blocked me out because he wanted me to follow him, or he wanted Matt to follow him, not me, Matt. And
People do anything for a follow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So this kid, he knew what he was doing, and I had to go through a lot of hoops to get all my shit back.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy what people nowadays will do for attention. Just even because it's a form of content, it's a form of that reassurance that you getting the attention that a lot of people that are younger struggle with that in this generation, my generation, because it's just as social media grows, seeing all these people, like all these scummy people, grow with it. It's just sad, and I hope that they end up finding their true calling, and like I did, like I started off being worried about having the run-ins with the SWAT team at my house and whatnot, and now I work in cybersecurity, so I get to see how all of that unfolds from a business perspective. So it's pretty interesting stuff, and
Go catch them.
yeah, that's what my goal going into this was, to be able to kind of see if there was a way to stop cyber criminals from doing what they do. Not really get them back, because that's not ethical. You can't really do that in a legal manner, which is unfortunate, because you just want to just kick their ass, but you physically can't without it's just like engaging in war. You can't do that without government orders. So the same way with cyber, you can't do something that's against the law, even if it is to defend yourself. So it's kind of like a thin line that you can walk with that.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, back in my day, you would crank phone call somebody. That was the worst thing we did.
I love watching those YouTube videos. On a side note, that they're so funny. Like, just watching people harass people, even if it is staged, it's just super funny.
Yeah.
I had one more thing. So have you ever been like noticed like in public or anything?
Yes, I've been noticed 3 or 4 or 5 times. Once or twice in an airport, and then once I was out hiking at a state park on the trail, and somebody stopped me, and well, they knew who Matt was. I don't know if they probably saw my shirt or something, but I've been noticed a few times. But it's pretty funny.
That's cool. I'm waiting for that day for me.
Hey, I hope it happens.
That'll never come.
Maybe someday.
Hey,
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I actually got noticed at an airport, which it's just kind of crazy, because like out of all places, an airport I never thought would happen. But I was like walking down like the aisle to go towards my gate, and there was another person that was boarding my same flight to go to the same place for spring break, and he noticed me from YouTube. I don't know if he saw me, because I used to work at a trampoline park called Sky Zone, and I didn't know if he had saw me there or whatnot, because obviously the local people, I've told them about it, because it's a good sense of marketing. Even, like, these kids, they'll feed into it. They'll be like, oh, you had Nadeshot's dad on a podcast? Like, that's awesome. Like, people will be like, oh my God, like, I have to check this out. So back when Fortnite was out, I was flying somewhere on spring break, and they happened to notice me, and I was like, this is cool. Like, this is really awesome. Yeah. Like, it's
I see Mac getting recognized all the time, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I never thought that me, little 3,000 subscriber me at the time, would get recognized, but it was a genuine experience. And then when you go to an event like TwitchCon in San Diego like I do every year. Just seeing like even your friends get recognized for being somebody that's like a at least semi notable figure. It's like cool to watch from the side as well.
Well, that's a thing too. Like Matt flew me out to Orlando for some competition, and then for Optic when he was playing with Optic, and all these kids knew who he was, and they knew me, and I would yell at him. I'm like, "Hey, come say hi to this guy. Say hi to that guy." He's like, "Hey, hey," I didn't understand. So how many people want to see him? But I'm like, I want him to be nice to everybody, and
Yeah.
But it's hard to be nice to everybody. I learned that. That's the other side. It's like you can't. Like I get so many requests all the time online. Hey, your son means so much to me. Can you please let me talk to him? And they really like bombard me all the time with all this stuff, and I want to help him, but I'm like, it's not. I'm like, hey, he has so many requests. He can't honor everything, even though he may want to, but he can't.
I can't even imagine being like incredibly popular on social media and seeing the amount of people that look up to him, like to scale from the people that like have inspired by me to create content, and like to put it to scale of like how many followers and what reach he has. Like shoot, they literally just did something with Lil Nas X. Like that is insane for the gaming community, because yeah, like he got investments from Drake and whatnot, but Lil Nas X is at the top of the charts like every single week. And for him to do something with 100 Thieves for their League of Legends Worlds run that they're on right now, it's insane for the gaming community.
Oh, that's cool.
I have just sworn I had one more. Oh yeah, so I have seen on Twitter that you've tweeted out a little bit about the local LAN centers that are near your area, the local gaming centers. So do you have any involvement in that, or what is your ties to those?
It's a place called Scrims. It's about a mile from me, and it was a video store. And video stores, you guys probably know what that is, but they used to go get VHS movies or I can't even think the other format, Beta or VHS. My first wife and I met. We were both worked at a video store back in the '80s, and so it wasn't family video. It was, and then this place Scrims came in there, and then it said video, entertainment center. So I say, hey, let's go in there and check it out. And I met the owner and her son. It was a mom and a son. He was into gaming, and the mom was in. I can't remember their names. I'm sorry, but she was in the gaming industry in some way. But very, very nice and smart people. He's college educated, and she was very business smart. But I hope their business is taken off, and I just want to go in there and show support and say hi.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that the local businesses thrive. Like obviously when I go out to the store, I always try and shop local businesses, because whatever's put into the local businesses ends up being fulfilled in the output of the economy, because everybody helps everybody. That's how small towns thrive. So, and I'm assuming that where you're at is probably the same way then.
Yeah, I don't understand like a business like that, because maybe you guys could tell me. It's what I mean, what do they have like technically that like where people can't do on their own computers at home? I don't understand it. I mean, they have high speed, the better stuff like that.
Usually it's just for like the computers itself, I'd say.
Okay,
I
they have
know.
that.
Yeah, usually the ones that I know of have like they have like decked out PCs, like
Well, they
top of
had
the
computers
notch.
all over the place in that
Yeah, I
place.
bet. Yeah, that's probably the main reason. I know like some people go to them for like better connection. Like like they might have like super good Wi-Fi there, and at home maybe they don't. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I know at least.
Yeah, and
I've
part
never
of
been to one.
and part of that, yeah. So like some kids that go to those facilities, their parents take them, and maybe they don't have the equipment at their house, or can't afford the equipment, but they can afford to have a pass for the day, or maybe they go there for a birthday or something like that. And
Yeah,
they're obviously some of the people that watch Matt, they probably don't even have a gaming PC. So seeing him play Valorant and seeing him have fun doing what he does, makes them want to, have that same of experience. So they go to a LAN
right.
center, they get to interact with all these random kids, and it's just a cool opportunity because not a lot, like Ray said, like even their internet at home might not be the strongest. In that literally gives them like sometimes even traveling to these LAN centers, you get better internet that possible at home, like better ping. So it really helps your response time when you're playing these games. So
Okay.
it's just cool to see because if I had money and I could help out a local center like that, hopefully one day I'll be able to put some of my money into a local center like that. Like seeing how much fun I had playing video games when I was a little kid. Um, Obviously it's a little bit different now because there's money involved and a lot more that you pay attention to. It's not just simple plug and play anymore. Got to make sure, obviously, that your quality is up to speed with the rest of them because that's how
Right.
you make it in this scene. But I want kids to have the same opportunity that I had as a kid to have fun and enjoy video games like we do.
Yeah, there's still I always drive past there. I'm like, I want to see a full parking lot. I hope they're killing it. They had a really nice place to eat. Like you could like it's not just for young kids. You can buy alcohol there. Not whatever. I mean, so it's a mass appeal. They make pizzas, so that's nice.
I need to go there.
Yeah, it seems nice. I mean, I actually a friend of mine. His name is Profiteer. He on Twitter and he's another guy I met. Being he was a fan of Matt's and reached out to me, and he's actually my golf instructor. We golf together. I met him through Matt, him being a fan, and he's a big gamer, and he's been there, and he said it's a quality place.
I think that Profiteer and I think we follow each other because when we first talked about having you on the podcast, we were kind of joking, but we were joking. It's like, hey, like we could get him on the podcast if we share some gin and tonics in person. We could record it in person. So you said done deal. So I'm like, okay. So when am I coming over? When are we gonna record this podcast in person? But that didn't
Well,
end up happening
I
though.
will make a gin and tonic for you guys eventually. I know we couldn't do it in person, but it's Akeem is Profiteer, salted earth guy, is really nice and genuine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Maybe
think
maybe I could take a trip out to Chicago and we can get some lunch and talk things over and whatnot about that. That'd be
Yeah,
let's
a lot of fun.
run
Take
it
me
back
to
and
What is it? Portobello's? Oh,
Portillo's. Well, we'll take
Portillo's.
you to Pops. We're going to take you to Pops Beef.
yeah, there's one
That's
literally
my
right next
place.
to Jewel right there.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
One of these weekends, I'll text you, Jeff, and we'll set something up because I'm only like 3.5 hours away, and that's half the distance that I go to see my girlfriend every other month.
Hey, there you go.
So
Set it up.
it'll be really cool. But
Hey,
anyways, thank you for coming on the podcast, Jeff. We really really do appreciate it. And if you ever have the opportunity to have Matt have some free time and wants to jump on the podcast with us, we'd love to have him.
I wish I could. I'm sorry you only have me to interview. I wish you could be interviewing him.
You know what? You're just as interesting, honestly.
Well,
Like quite frankly, you really are.
I appreciate that.
But Ray, you got anything else?
I'm out. I'm out of ideas.
Well, guys, this has been Ray. This has been Jeff, DaDSHoT Hague, and this has been Cams here live from the Game Advantage facility. And we hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, night, whenever you guys are watching this. And we will see you guys. We actually have a very, very special guest, and I guess we'll give you guys a little hint on who we're having next. He's very good friends with Corinna Kopf. So, I mean, we'll have some stories with that leading up to it. But like I said, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to drop a like, follow us on Amazon or on Spotify, Apple Music, and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate it. Share with your friends, and we will see you guys in the next episode of the Main Stage Podcast. Peace out.